Joe, what's your first crack?
Well, on the flip side, I'm looking at the Kangaroos, and I know we sound like a broken record, but there are big issues there at North Melbourne because for whatever reason, they are not improving as a team. This is now under Clarkson 3 years in a row where over a body of work, over a season, they haven't improved. I mean, we've seen patches of a little period of weeks, or we've seen games, of course, where they look really good, but we've seen that with every team. But when you take in what we've seen now of 19 weeks of footy, they haven't gotten any better from last year or the year before. And I think it's time, Jay, to have some serious questions amongst themselves, the coaches and the hierarchy at the football club about what is best for this team. Are we getting the best out of the group?
Is Clarko the man?
Is Clarko? Well, he's got to be in the conversations, I think. He needs to be part of it as much as they need to be speaking to him and say, right, is your messaging getting through? Is your system working, and is it the right system? Because I was at the game last night, and we'll get to it in a moment, but it is completely broken at the moment. And what I found most fascinating was listening to Alastair Clarkson's explanation of what went wrong last night against Geelong. We'll take a listen.
Well, we knew going into the game that clearances and contests were going to be critical for us. Obviously, it was going to be really hard without Big X, our ruckman, but we still backed ourselves in that if we could be okay in contests and clearance, we'd be in the game, knowing full well that they've got one of the most formidable and dangerous forward lines in the competition. All week we're looking up the matchups and trying to work out who'd suit who down there, but our best methodology really was to try to limit the supply by winning contests and winning clearances. And once they beat us in that area of the game, their polish and how clean they were with the ball really hurt us.
So there's a lot of talk about the contest and clearance, particularly in the midfield between the arcs. Well, they were the numbers. It wasn't like it was a mauling with the contest and clearance. Now, those -7 clearances, in fact, were all centre bounce. So no doubt they had an issue with their centre bounce work. And, of course, we know Tristan Sherry was missing, and that played a factor. But being at that game live, you couldn't say their issue was the contest and clearance. It was a part of the problem. But there were much bigger issues with their defensive system, Jay. And for me, it is all over the shop. And I want to talk through some of the bits of clip about what is happening. And there are too many players that just go ball hunting and have no balance or want to defend. So look at Tom Powell there. So Manners out to the side. And then Hardiman in this situation knows he's defending 2 Geelong players. So wouldn't he think, well, I need to stay back just in case it's a turnover? His first thought is to run off and go get a handball receive. Tom Powell goes kick chasing, and that is why the balance is the way it is. It's strange, and I know those 2 are young players. These 2 aren't young players. So this is from a free kick from the centre bounce, right? So we see who the 2 players are. Griffin Logue on Jeremy Cameron, Caleb Daniel playing on the small Tyson Stengel. Now, as this plays out, right, so we should get it sped up from here and see what happens as it unfolds. So it goes down, turnover, natural part of the game. It gets switched. I want to show you what their defensive system behind the ball looks like now. So all of a sudden, if we pause it there, we have 4 North Melbourne players all sort of holding hands. Caleb Daniel doing what he's done all year, just guarding grass. Logue up there near Brad Close. And where are the 2 blokes, Jeremy Cameron and Tyson Stengel? They're just off the back. It's only 1 kick into the middle of a zone and it's out the back. And this happened all night. So when this kick goes to Dangerfield, as is so often the case, nobody's guarding him. They get the easy goals, and Jeremy Cameron had the easiest, I mean, it was the easiest 11 goals you've ever seen, the way that he was just able to sit and wait for the ball to come out the back. So this was constant. So I'm looking at it going, what is their plan when they're trying to defend? There's no layers to their defensive system. There's no organisation. So here's another great example. So they get inside 50 opportunity, kick there to a contest. Right now, you should be setting up behind the ball. So Colby McCurch is the half-back flanker. Again, if you're going to continue to play guys that don't want to defend at half-back, you're going to get this. So Colby McCurcher, instead of referencing his opponent. Now, this is just a normal system of team defence. The guy that's onside ball, he can always press. But Griffin Logue should be rolling around and coming behind. He charges across the field when Hardiman's the one that should be pressing. So all of a sudden, you've got 2 guys that are in no man's land, and you go, how does this happen? So Griffin Logue's played a lot of footy. How does he not know that the system is to slide around and allow Hardiman to be the one to try and slow the play up the field? I don't know what he's doing. And this is the last one, the most damning. So here, another entry for North Melbourne. They've got 8 players behind the ball. Geelong have got 4 ahead of the ball. So 8v4, you think they should have it covered. In 10 seconds, a turnover. Have a look at Geelong there, forward of the ball. They've got 3 players out. There were 8 North Melbourne guys there. So I don't know what they are trying to do defensively. And it's been like this, Kingy, for the majority, not just this year, but for the last 3 years. Because you take a look at the points against. I know they had a patch there where they were better for the middle part of the year, but overall, I can't see it improving. So they've got to ask themselves, is it the right system? And if it's not, is the message getting through to the playing group? What do they value as a club? Because if you're going to start your back line with McKercher, Caleb Daniel and Zane Dersma, are you really valuing defence? Charlie Common is by far their best defender. By far. Best intercept mark, and they play him forward.
That was mystifying.
I couldn't understand that. You put your best defender in the back line and work around it from there. Give yourself a chance defensively. I just wonder whether they're coaching it the right way, because if they are trying to, that's the system they want to play, then clearly the players either aren't capable of doing it or don't adhere to it. And that's on the coaching to make some changes.
The soft cap's going up by 750 grand. I think they have the busiest off-season of all time, North Melbourne. It's on the club to support Alastair Clarkson, to get in some acumen, to make some sort of sense and integrate some system or something that can give them something.
You can't save it from beneath. If Alastair doesn't have that, you can't save it from beneath.
Well, whatever he is saying is not being implemented. Yeah. That is the easiest a team has been to play against that I can remember.
Should have been 150 points. And Geelong stuffed up so many opportunities to put more scores on the board.
And in the last quarter, they basically had 3 players on the bench anyway,
so
the Cats.
They scored from 47% of intercepts, the Cats, which is the best return seen for 12 years. They scored from 38% of all chains, which is 1 in every 2.5. The AFL average about 1 every 6. So that's the third best we've seen in 9 years. And the ball movement, D half to inside 50, they went at 62%. It's the second worst defensive game we've seen in 14 years.
That was a training drill. And so if the system's too complicated, then you've got to strip it back. But this has been 3 years now of the system that Alastair Clarkson wants to implement with his team, and it's not getting better. So clearly there's a breakdown somewhere, and they've got some serious soul-searching to do.
I know where the breakdown is. The breakdown's the small man, Caleb Daniel, that they got at half-back. It's spun them into a complete bust. I don't want to see him kick out anymore. I really don't. I've seen him kick out 110 times, and most of the time he goes to himself. He's the highest cost kick-out player in the competition right now. He's a turnover machine. And I'm not sure what he's actually doing. He's got the best role in footy. He doesn't help you win the ball back, and he doesn't help you counter-punch. He doesn't fight the fight at contest. He's winning close to 80% of his ball in an uncontested fashion across half-back. That doesn't help. So if you're not elite by foot or creating overlap run or winning the ball, what are you doing? So I think that they continually roll with this guy, and it causes all sorts of problems for the rest. We've seen McKercher.
Did you drop
he's a bit of,
He's got to be out.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he survives in this team without a function. I just don't get it. So McKercher's now trying to do what Daniel does.
Similar, they're almost identical.
And we've seen probably 3 of these a week. So what's happened to their vision? Like Colby used to see Zurhaar on the right there and give that handball. But now they've just become blast. They've lost their mind. So they've become really basic players. And it's permeated through the team. So there's the kick-out costs from Colby. But in general field play,
a couple of times a week,
it's happening far too regularly. And I just feel like they needed to sit down and say what's going on here. And this is Alastair Clarkson. It's not the support group.
Second round pick for Caleb Daniel. The trade has been near on a disaster, as you explain. Time for our BP Premium Performance of the Weekend. It is the man who kicked 11 goals. He could kick the ton for the year, Joey. It's Jeremy Cameron, and he ran around witches' hats all night.
Well, he started at half forward next to Colby McKercher. That was his match-up for the first 5 minutes of the game when he got his first couple of goals. And then it was always... he was licking his lip. As I said, it was 11 goals. It's an amazing performance, but it would be the easiest 11 goals any player would kick with the amount of space that he got, the way the ball got delivered out the back. But he's in super form. 31 goals now, Jay, with 4 home and away games, potentially 3 finals. It is now not unrealistic that 100 goals is in the equation. It could be grand final day. It could be grand final day. He could be needing 3, 4, 5, 6 goals.
All the corporates running on the ground.
Imagine that. All the suits out there on the ground. It was spectacular to watch.
And as Patrick Dangerfield hinted last night, they'll be looking for him. There's no doubt about it. They were funneling and feeding him last night. That'll be the case within reason for the final month.